Welcome to This Week from Blue Mountain Broadcasting. Thanks for tuning into the show today. I'm Lynelle Ellis, your host, and on the program I'm going to be interviewing Lowell Mann, who is our Content Delivery Manager here at Blue Mountain Broadcasting Association. That's a new title for Lowell that expands on the title he had before, and we'll tell you all about that during our interview. And he's got some fantastic updates that you will certainly want to hear. And then I'll have a few more things to add at the end of the program in the station news segment, but right now, let's begin with our devotional thought. 2 Sabbaths ago, our family was delighted to be at the Gospel Outreach Weekend when Don McLafferty was the featured presenter. His talks were incredibly inspirational, and he shared a book he's written called Live Like Elijah. In fact, he handed this book out to everybody who wanted one who was attending. So, of course, we've got a copy at our house, and I've been reading in it. And today, I want to share with you the first part of this book, the first chapter, and use that as our devotional thought. It begins like this. Elijah boldly charged into the royal court of Ahab, a warrior king bent on destroying the worship of the Creator God. He had no invitation from the king and no summons from the royal family. Why did he come? Elijah was a man on a mission. He was sent by God. He had a message to deliver. This messenger walked past security as if he were not there. He feared nothing. Splendor, wealth, position, fame, and flattery could not entice him. He bravely approached the startled monarch and delivered his message without a bow, the customary greetings, or a gift. His voice sounded like a trumpet call. As the Lord, the God of Israel, lives before whom I stand, surely there shall be neither dew nor rain these years except by my word. The 10-second message delivered, he left. He exited as abruptly as he had entered. The whole court was in shock. Mouths agape, royal servants watched dumbfounded as the prophet simply walked away. The king was not accustomed to being addressed in that manner, and by the time the king recovered his damaged composure, the messenger was nowhere to be seen. Who was this Elijah? Was he born into the right family? Did he carry a last name that would demand respect? What do we know of him? Scripture paints a sparse picture of this man. 2 Kings 1:8 says he was a hairy man with a leather girdle bound about his loins. And 1 Kings 17:1 says his name was Elijah the Tishbite, who was of the settlers of Gilead. His name meant, "The Lord is my God," and he wore a mantle or cloak over his shoulders. That's it. We know his name, where he came from, that he was hairy, and what he wore. That list does not seem like a recipe for a remarkable man. Gilead was a mountainous region east of the Jordan River. Its name means heap of witness. Gilead is no Jerusalem, Bethlehem, or Jericho. Though mentioned other places in the scripture, it's not a place with much name recognition. So, what made Elijah stand out? The scriptures say it all. As the Lord, the God of Israel, lives before whom I stand. Elijah knew where he stood. He always stood in the presence of God. Elijah lived in awe of God. He spent time with God. He knew the majesty of the Eternal One, his might and power, his love and grace, and his wisdom and care. Because he spent time in God's presence, he did not cower in the presence of man. Do you live in awe of God? Do you spend enough time alone with him in his word, the scriptures, and in prayer that you are amazed by his character and his power? Discover this God for yourself in the Bible. When we really come to know God for who he is, we stand in awe of him. The more we discover about him, the more there is to know. His character is flawless, his love incomparable, his timing impeccable, His care matchless. How can we grow in knowing and experiencing this God of the universe? Stay tuned. I'll be right back. Welcome back. Joining me now is a familiar face to you. It's Lowell Mann, our content and delivery manager. And I just gave you a different title that people are used to hearing.
Yeah, it's a different title, but it's really the same job in some respects.
It really is. It's like the same job, but more.
Correct.
Because you're still the station manager, and that's the title that you've been using for a long time.
Correct.
But we're thinking about how Blue Mountain Broadcasting is more than just the television station, and it's going to even become more as we go along, because we already have streaming, we have our Roku app, and we're going to be developing
we're expanding
an app
those
for
things,
so we thought, okay, it's not just the station, it's all the content delivery that we do. So
content delivery manager.
So now he's got a bigger title.
Better title, and I'm also working in the production world as well.
You are, in fact, you're having to kind of pick up some slack in that area here at the station. So we've been joking, it's not funny to you, I'm sure, but we've been joking a little bit that you have to do 2 jobs right now. So you're a busy guy.
It is very busy, and I just want to take a moment and thank Daniel Biggs, who is a key and instrumental person here at Blue Mountain Television.
Yes, our production manager.
Yeah, our production manager, and he's recently stepped down as our production manager and moved on and to better things, and so we're extremely grateful for what he has brought to this ministry.
Of course, there's lots and lots of things, but the one that really pops to mind is the whole Secret Life of the Forest and Desert, those series. Fantastic
series. He and Mike did a fantastic job, which I'll take a moment to say we're right now in the middle of season 2. We just started season 2 of The Desert. And so for the next 7 weeks, we got brand new episodes of that series.
That is so cool.
That's on Sunday evenings at 7.
Yeah, I got to brag about that last week that we were going to be putting.
We're finally there.
Episode 10, it was coming on. Now it'll be 11 this next Sunday. Yeah, really great. So what are some of the projects that you're currently working on then for Blue Mountain Television?
So one of the things is we finally transitioned into HD.
Yes.
Yes, it's something we've been striving for, and it's not.
It's a process.
It's been a process, a longer process, and a harder process than what we actually initially thought. But now we've transitioned, but we still have all of this old content in standard definition. So some of it looks okay, upscaled, some of it not so much. So one of the big projects right now is getting all of our content that we have and upgrading it to HD.
So some of those sources that we receive it from can give it to you in HD?
Correct.
But then we have to load all of that into the system so that it can play.
One of the things we were doing is we would download It Is Written, but then we would reformat it in standard definition because that's what we were broadcasting. So now we need to go back to It Is Written and grab it in HD and reformat it in HD so that we can play it back in HD. So, and that's quite a bit of a process.
Yes.
And then we also have Hope Channel. We're now getting that feed in HD, and so we're able to record the same things that we're watching on Hope Channel.
Yes.
And then slice that out so that we have that for later use.
Yes.
And
we can put it into the schedule where we want to and that sort of thing.
So a lot of the big ones that are missing, that are still standard definition. Parker's Puzzle is kids program, but we only have SD content with that. Into the Bible, I think, is another one. There's a lot of kids programs. Torchlighters, I think, is another one.
Yes, that we'd really like to have higher quality.
But we'd like to have higher quality. Now, unfortunately, when we talk about Davy and Goliath, that was originally done standard definition, so we're going to kind of have to stick with that in that program. But that's the other thing that we're doing is we're kind of trying to look for new, fresh content in our children's programming and other programs as well.
Sure, and that's always exciting to our viewers when they hear about new programs that are coming along. What do you think are some of the most exciting newer programs that we have?
Newer.
Yeah, they don't have to be brand new, but ones that are becoming popular shows.
Well, It Is Written has always been popular. Doug Batchelor's always been popular. Randy Roberts is always.
Yes.
But one of the older programs that we're not airing anymore that was popular back in the day was the program that Don Schneider did called Really
Yes.
Living.
In fact, that got listed as a favorite program year after year.
It truly did, but unfortunately it's run its course and it feels like the host is dead and a lot of the guests are now passed away as well.
Yes.
So it just felt like it was time to retire that program. However, It Is Written contacted us and giving us a list of programs that we have access to. And one of the programs that they have made available to us is a program called Conversations. And that program, as I was previewing it, I was like, this is just really living with a different host. So John Bradshaw interviews people on faith and spirituality and some testimonies.
Really similar format.
Really similar format. And so I think that's going to be a very popular program coming up.
I do too.
Yeah,
we love to hear people's stories.
Absolutely. That's airing right now Sabbath morning at 10 a.m. I think it's Tuesday at 10 p.m. and Wednesday at 8 a.m.
You have it amazingly well in mind, Lowell.
Yeah, that's the current schedule with that. And you talk about popular programs, we can't move on from that until we talk about The Incredible Journey.
Yes.
Because I think that may be one of the most popular programs we have right now. Every time I talk to somebody, it's The Incredible Journey, The Incredible Journey.
It's such an engaging style of program with all the places they go to and the footage and Yeah,
what they're doing with that program is actually fantastic. And I need to contact them to see if we can get some more episodes.
I'm sure we would all like that.
Yeah, we would love that. So those are some of the popular programs. And when you talk about The Incredible Journey, it's not sitting in a studio like we're doing right here, having a conversation. It's out in the field, showing B-roll and all sorts of stuff, and that's what people really enjoy.
Sure, and it's great production. Takes a lot of time and energy to put together a show like that.
As someone who's recently done a program similar to that.
Yes, you did. You know what it takes to put a documentary together.
It's a lot of work.
It is.
But
interviews and footage.
The end product is
It's fantastic. Yeah. I know we were just brainstorming this morning about what would it be like if this show wasn't in the studio, you know. What if we went to, like, if I was interviewing you, I would be at your office or at your facility. If I was interviewing somebody from a ministry or a local business or whatever, I was at their place talking with them there. It would be so much more fun. So who knows? We're talking about how that could happen in the future.
And that's something I think maybe we want to get to down the line.
But
for right now, this works.
This is what we can bite off for right now. But talking about how to get programs to be more fun, more engaging for the audience, for sure. So you have been spending a lot of time, as you already mentioned, working on the quality of our broadcast and of our stream as well.
Correct.
That's been under your responsibility. I hope people have noticed that all of those things have improved.
Yeah, absolutely. And cable is coming along.
It is. We're in that process too.
Yeah, we're in that process. We have now given the cable company an HD feed.
Yes.
And so they're now in the process in the back rooms making switches and changes and all sorts of stuff. So hopefully within the next month we should have an HD signal on Charter. And I know there's some people that have cornered me at church. When is that going to happen? When is that going to happen?
It's a little bit out of our control.
It's out of our control. They're the ones that are doing that, and we'll get there.
Yeah, we will get there. And I know this is really long term now, but we've been talking about developing an app. We don't even know what it will be called yet or how it will work exactly, but the ability for people to access Blue Mountain Television content right on their phone, right on their tablet or something really easily.
Yeah,
so,
and that falls under content delivery as well.
It does.
So yeah, that's something we've just beginning
to brainstorm about that.
And so hopefully, I was talking with somebody earlier at a meeting just prior to this where we've got Roku, we've got streaming on our website, we get an app, and the plan is to make that all look seamless. So you go to the app, it looks the same as on the website or Roku or whatever. So that's
all of that branding stuff that I know Elaine Hinshaw is going to help you with as you're doing your content delivery stuff. We brought her on to help on that side of getting things to all kind of look the same and be really accessible for people.
That's another key, is accessible, easy to access.
Yeah.
If I have to sit there and hunt and try to figure it out,
Right.
it gets super frustrating.
Right. We want people to be able to just go, I want to watch
This.
ding.
Boom. Yeah.
And there it is. So we're working on that, which is really, really cool.
Yeah.
Now, I wouldn't want to spend time with you and not bring up what's coming up in November, because we've just got a huge weekend and week for Blue Mountain Television. Really exciting. What is it?
It's almost overwhelming as we think about everything that's going to be happening between November 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8.
Yes, those days are
It's
full.
going to be, yeah. So November 4 and 5, we're kind of calling it a partnership weekend at the Wava Auditorium.
Yes.
And we'll have a Friday night Vespers, and then we'll have a Sabbath school and church. We'll have potluck at our Wallula facility.
Love it.
And then we're going to have an afternoon meeting, kind of a little concert and a wrap up for that.
Yes.
So that's...
And I'm
the
excited
works.
about the concert because I love music, like
Yeah.
a lot of people, I'm sure. But
And it's
Rejoice Trio.
Yeah. So we got Rejoice Trio coming in to do music. Wava Orchestra is doing some stuff on Sabbath for church. We have Con Brio.
I
from
think
Rogers.
it won't be all of Con Brio. It's
think
going to
it's just
be
parts?
a double quartet.
That's right.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So we've got that, and I've seen, Elaine and Carmen have been kind of working through this. What do we put here? What do we put there?
Yes.
And then our main speaker is Dee Casper, and he's the director of Core Evangelism in Pennsylvania, I believe.
Yes.
Great speaker. I was at a meeting last night, and somebody said, "Can't wait for Dee! Can't wait for Dee!" So there's people that are excited that he's going to be coming and sharing. And happy,
Me too.
healthy, and saved is the theme throughout that whole weekend.
So we've got all of that in-person stuff, and I think we really want to remind our viewers that those are in-person events.
Correct.
They're not televised events.
Yeah. We're going to be doing some recording. We'll probably record Dee's presentations, whether we'll put those up later.
Yes.
We're not certain yet, but we're wanting people to come to Wava Auditorium and be a part, have community with the community.
And then there's a broadcast section that comes after.
Yes. We've got our constituency meeting on Sunday morning.
Yes.
And then that evening, November 6, 7, and 8 is our traditional fundraiser that we've done on air. We'll be right here.
Yep.
Like we normally are. We've got Positive Life Radio, their phone bank as well. And we're making a change this year. We're only going to do 7 to 10 instead
Okay,
of
so
6
3
to
hours in the evening instead of 4.
3 hours each evening. And once again, Dee Casper will be with us. He'll take like a 15-minute chunk each hour throughout that and share what's on
I'm so glad
his
he gets to stay by for the fundraiser. That'll be really great.
And then we've got the Neblett family and Washita Hills to do some music. You remember last spring we had Simon.
Yes.
And
I've been looking at the videos from these two groups. They're really nice.
Yeah. So I think people are going to be really excited for what we've got planned all of these different evenings.
I do too. And the fact that we're going 7 to 10 doesn't mean we need to raise less money.
Correct. And we've been
it just means we're going to concentrate it.
We're going to concentrate. We've been talking with in our staff meetings that our goal is $75,000 between the partnership weekend, the fundraiser, and then we're also going to be launching into the Valley Giving Guide in December. So our goal for that whole thing is $75,000 here for the
our operating budget,
Correct.
And we really, really need it.
We certainly do.
So there's a lot, as an expression goes, there's a lot hanging on this weekend and this fundraiser for sure for this organization.
But God has truly blessed us.
He has.
And I can't see how he'd say,
He's going to do it again.
He's going to do it again, absolutely.
For sure. Well, Lowell, we're out of time, but I appreciate your leadership and the new title, Content Delivery Manager, which is station manager still, and all the rest. And very excited for our future and where we're going with this ministry. Good times ahead.
All right. Yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And stay tuned. I'll be right back. Time now for station news. we've already been talking with Lowell about a lot of great and exciting programming that's coming up. So just a couple of quick reminders that we do have episode 11, a brand new episode of Secret Life of the Desert this Sunday at 7 p.m. Also Wednesdays at 9:30 a.m. and Thursday at 6 p.m. So you'll want to tune in for that really, really good show. Also, a reminder that on October 22 at 7 p.m., you can tune in for Tell the World, the film, giving the history of the Seventh-day Adventist movement and the Seventh-day Adventist Church. So look for that one. Also, of course, I need to tell you that we are making great progress at the Wallula facility. As you already saw last week, we've got some offices already beginning to take shape over there, and the biggest news is that we're having a painting work bee on service day for Walla Walla University on October 19. We've got 10 students who are going to be there painting on the interior of the offices and the main hallway at the Wallula facility. So we're really, really excited about that. Just looking forward to the transformation that that will represent. And phone lines are being installed this week. And that's good news for us. So even though we've got a couple people working over there, they have to just use their cell phones because we don't have the regular station line coming in at the Wallula facility yet, but it will be just within a few days. So that's really good news. And walls continuing to go up on the new office areas. We're working toward getting the electrical installed in the new office spaces so that we can move on with drywall and those sort of things after that. So good progress there. And then, of course, a reminder again, Lowell also talked with us about this, but our Happy, Healthy, and Saved weekend at WAVA Auditorium. Please mark it on your calendar. You don't want to miss this fantastic in-person event, the chance to hear Dee Casper, who is a wonderful speaker, to hear him in person with the presentations he's going to give on Friday night and also on Sabbath morning. We'll have a Friday evening Vespers, a Sabbath school, and a Sabbath worship hour. And then also in the afternoon, a concert and a few more words from Dee Casper. And perhaps I'm the most delighted about the concert because I love Rejoice Trio. What a wonderful group. Hannah Schaefer, Eliana Kearns, Tobin Kearns, who are going to be together again playing. It's kind of a reunion concert. They haven't played together since before Hannah went as a student missionary to Thailand. And so that's been well over a year since they have played together. And I know that both Eliana and Hannah were back in town this past weekend practicing with Tobin. And so they had a special weekend of meeting up and working together in preparation for this concert. So it is just going to be great. And also I know those of you who've heard Dee Casper speak before know what a blessing that is. So invite your friends who maybe haven't heard him before to come and be part of these presentations. And then right following that, mark your calendar for November 6 through 8 from 7 to 10 p.m. for our fall fundraiser. Dee Casper will be staying by for that, and we have lots of exciting things to share with you during this really, really important time for our ministry. And also, one other note, we are working on adding more underwriters to our broadcast. So those are businesses and organizations that would like to help sponsor what we're doing here at this ministry. So that's an area for you to pray about as well, as we are in the process of contacting some of those businesses and organizations who might like to help support the ministry here, the broadcast for Blue Mountain Broadcasting Association. Well, I would be remiss not to say thank you to you because, first of all, you took the time to watch this show and get those updates, and it's really valuable to have you watching and knowing what's going on with the ministry. Your prayers are really, really important to us, and we thank you for them. And also the gifts that you give, especially in support of the daily operation here, means so much to us. So thanks again for your involvement, for your participation, for your partnership. We are a community station. We are viewer supported, and so you are really, really important to the ministry. And thanks for watching today. I will see you next time.